So good. So good. So good, Colin. How you doing?
Shit. Sorry, I'm still. There we go. I'm good. I'm good.
You were in the zone? You were like, oh man, this beat is killing it.
No, I was having some audio issues.
Ah.
It wouldn't be a
But
show without some kind of issues at the beginning.
yeah, and to start it off, I wanted to start that song earlier, but for whatever reason, when I tried to change the current topic to weekend games and esports, that broke right before the show. Just like exploded. And so now it just says topic. It doesn't you see the current isn't in there because it's broken for whatever reason. It won't format correctly right now. So yeah, it's another fun field start to the show for Frag Logic. I am Arctic. Got my buddy Colin Skyless. Number 38, Colin. 38 weeks. 12
Is
until
that?
50. 38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that 8 months?
Something like that.
Damn.
Started in February, first week of February, I think. Their first show.
You can get to a year in no time.
I know. It's just zipping by. I can't believe we've gone 38 weeks straight. So yeah, tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about a number of things. We got a bunch of stuff in miscellaneous, kind of like last week. Not a huge news week, but there are a lot of little things that we can talk about. So we have weekend games and stuff. We're gonna get to that. The MLG Invitational was this weekend, overlapped with UMG. Talk about that. Um, we have the Titanfall release date, which was actually announced today. Talk a little bit about Titanfall. We're going to talk about some skill-based matchmaking. I'm going to let Colin rant on it a little bit, but there's a reason that we're going to talk about it because League of Legends announced their new plans for a smart matchmaker. Got some stuff on Virgin Gaming, miscellaneous stuff. We'll get all into that. So let's start with the weekend games, Colin. What? I mean, we both played Tactical Intervention this past weekend, which you recommended last week on the show.
Well, recommended is a very loose term.
No, you
I
recommended it.
recommended that we play it.
You recommended it.
I
It's
wouldn't
free.
consider it a recommendation for the game. Two very different things.
You recommended that we play it.
I, re- I suppose I did. Yep. But I would not recommend anyone else play it outside
What?
of maybe an hour.
You have to play. You have to play Highway, and you have to play Inner City. So if you download the game, it's just on Steam. It's free to play. Check out those two specific maps because they're not classified by game type when you look through the server
They're
browser. Just
missions.
okay. So yeah, look for those missions, and you will have a very good time. Make sure you have some buddies too.
As
What
long as
else?
you're okay with frustrating game mechanics, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's celebrating Counter Strike. What are you talking about, Colin?
Well, on that note, I played the good version of Counter Strike. I actually picked up CS:GO. I played during the beta, but I hadn't purchased it at all. So this week I picked up CS:GO and played like probably a good 15, 20 matches in the competitive playlist. Um, been having a blast with it, really. It's a lot of fun. I was waiting for them to release the Dota patch, which came out yesterday, which kind of changes everything. So
Yeah, so apparently I need to play now. I've given my did I give my word? I don't remember if I gave my word, but I said okay, I'll play. So supposed to play with them times on Dota.
you said that before.
I mean I'll update it and I'll play. I
Hmm.
don't feel like watching all those tutorials because I'm just gonna use you as my tutorial guide.
Great.
That's the best way.
Yeah. Aside for that, I don't think I played anything else. Just a lot of CS:GO.
Man, that's that's you didn't play any Warface?
No,
Even
I
though?
haven't grabbed it again yet.
Okay.
I was afraid that everything was gonna be broken because they just released an open status, so I thought everything's gonna break. But from what you say, it's not bad.
Not bad. So yeah, I my weekend I played Hotline Miami, which was the soundtrack that you guys heard at the intro of the show was actually from I think it's from Moon, and the name of the song is Crystals. Actually, I think pics of it. Yeah, there's the link to the soundtrack for Hotline Miami. One of the best soundtracks I have ever heard on a game. Right there, Hotline Miami. Game is really hard, kind of frustrating, but it's fun. And like I said, you can enjoy some cool ass beats while you're getting slaughtered, frustrated, and ready to throw your keyboard. I played I played Tactical Intervention. We just said that with Colin. I played Warface. Played some Loadout. On Warface, Colin talked about it. Maybe was that 3 weeks ago? Talked about it on the show.
Probably a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a free to play browser based first person shooter made by Crytek. Uses the Cry engine. Probably one of the best looking graphically browser based games I've ever seen, hands down.
I think you can safely say the best.
I mean, it's very impressive. So I'm gonna have some gameplay on the YouTube channel for that. I actually have a video already done. I'll probably upload it to sometime tomorrow. But I got a couple guys at work also playing that, Colin. So
it's not bad.
It's cool. I like the interface. Interface is, I mean, you were spot on with it. The interface is really cool.
And the gameplay is pretty polished. I mean, it's fluid, I think is the word that you'd use.
Yeah, I think there's some balance issues, like spawn camping was it. Oh my God, spawn camping is definitely a problem.
Don't play TDM. TDM's awful.
I played Bomb. Like, I've already transitioned. Like, I can't.
Bomb's the only thing you can play.
Yeah, I can't play. Oh, I played Invasion too, which is decent. It's like Rush for Battlefield.
Oh yeah, that was alright.
So yeah, that's not bad. I could play that.
That's because you're accepting the spawn trap at that point.
Right. I played Bomb. I played a lot of Bomb. First game I went Beast, which is the gameplay I actually uploaded. So yeah, I mean that's a fun game. There's a couple other things that I talk about in that video. They have a lot of content locked. They only had one freaking black dude to select and 18 white dudes and one Asian dude.
And only like 2 dudes with beards. I think it's an atrocity.
I was blown away. Blown away. So yeah, that's Warface in a nutshell. That was all the games I played. Esports, Colin. Did you watch any Dota?
I watched a couple, like maybe a match or so from the MLG Dota Invitational.
Yeah.
At Full Sail, and didn't catch any of the UMG stuff. Obviously, I saw the fallout of that. We'll get to that. Let me think. Then I watched a Dota match yesterday. As soon as the patch went live, there was a few matches that had to be played for leagues. So like this big meta-changing patch went out, and then immediately after they were playing league matches. So that was pretty interesting to watch.
I pretty much the same. I mean, the MLG Invitational was this weekend at Full Sail. I watched a little bit of Dota there. I didn't watch any Call of Duty. The results for the event for Dota 2, Team Dignitas ended up taking it. They got 10,000 for first. Typical Mistakes got second. 5,000. Nam and Joiker Not were third and fourth. And then for Call of Duty, Complexity won. No surprise there. Optic got second. And
Did they actually list their name as Nam on the website?
That's what they listed it as on the. Not on the website. On I think it was Polygon that I pulled the results. I didn't feel like sifting through MLG's messy bracket stuff to look at it.
That's like their letter abbreviation. The team name is Shadow Fiend Eats Cake.
Shadow Fiend Eats Cake is their official name. And then for Call of Duty again, it was Complexity, Optic, Complexity on a tear. They got 10,000. Optic got second with 5,000. Unite and FaZe third and fourth. There. The next event for MLG is November 22nd through the 24th. And I was kind of surprised, but I guess not really, because this is kind of what they do now. They're gonna have a Call of Duty Ghosts. Are they calling it a tournament? Is it an exhibition?
It's a tournament.
Okay, so Call of Duty Ghosts tournament at MLG Columbus, I believe, is where the event is being held. November 22nd through the 24th, and I think there's 100 and something teams already registered.
Yeah, I believe it's just Ghosts, right? Like, there's not they're
Yeah,
not doing Black
it's
Ops.
just Ghosts.
They're
If you,
making the transition
yep.
a week after the game comes out.
No. Well, okay. If you say a week, yeah. After the game comes out, but Xbox One comes out the 22nd. Is that what they're playing it on, or are they playing on 360?
They probably are.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're playing on Xbox One.
I think
I
they've
need to find
announced
out.
that they're.
I need to find out what they're playing it on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's 360 because I
There's
would
no
hate
word
for
yet
those
on
guys
which
to.
platform. I guess I don't know.
Ugh.
That's
Ugh.
weird. I don't like tournaments as soon as the game comes out. I think that's the dumbest thing ever.
Ugh.
Like, even if the game is the same thing over and over, it's so wrong to have a tournament on the first day.
Only there could they get away with that with Call of Duty.
It is
Any
on
other
360.
game, I would be pissed. Then Dota 2 will also be there at this event. Those are the only two games they're gonna have.
Seriously, you have 1 week to learn the maps? 1 week to learn the maps, even?
What if they perform? What if they practice on 360, play on Xbox One, and the performance is completely
No,
different?
it's on 360. I checked the website.
Okay. Man, I would be so pissed.
But yeah, it's just COD and Dota. Which, if I had you had told me a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, that would be an MLG event, I would have told you were fucking crazy.
Oh, not in this day and age.
But no, Call of Duty Ghosts and Dota 2. So, looking forward to the Dota. The Dota tournament's gonna be nasty.
Who's all going?
So it's everyone pretty much. Alliance, Navi. That's your 1 and 2 from
1 and 2. Yeah.
the international. Then you got Fnatic representing the EU. You got Evil Geniuses, Liquid, Speed Gaming, which is Kai P previously.
Okay.
And Team Dignitas, and then you have DK coming over from China, which is the new super team that I was talking about just recently.
What's up, Gecko? How you doing? Oh, Chrome
So-
IP is in there too. What's up?
Gonna be nasty, and it's a free in-game ticket, so you'll be able to watch from in-game for free, just like they did with the international.
International? Wow.
And they're also selling like a courier if you want to contribute money to them.
That's
Gonna
impressive.
be good. Looking forward to it.
It sounds like there's going to be a lot of good matchups. Here's the issue, though.
It's be on the new
It's
patch
November.
too.
Listen. It's November 22nd through the 24th.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even gonna.
I'm not even going to be watching. Are you serious?
I'll be watching, but I'll be doing other
What are you
stuff.
going to have it up on another screen while you're sitting there playing Xbox and just looking over every couple
Xbox
minutes?
won't be out.
November 22nd.
No, it's on the
is release
22nd. Yeah,
date.
that's right.
You're going to be waiting in line, and then you're going to get home, and you're going to play. I order mine on Amazon.
Maybe I still have to pre-order, so I don't know if I'll be able to get one on launch day. We'll see.
Slacking.
We'll see.
Slacking.
That's what, like $50 to pre-order.
I don't know. On Amazon, they don't charge anything to.
What?
Well, because I'm a Prime. I'm a Prime member.
Oh, of course you're Prime.
Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and get into UMG, since we're kind of flirting around it. Right. If this thing changes, UMG can't see. Messing up. Outburst. That's what I'm gonna call it. Look at that! It changed. What are they doing?
What are you doing?
I didn't do anything. All I did was
This
my
is
normal
bad
thing.
production value.
You know what? Because of your comments last week, I don't know if you saw, I edited in the Steam demo.
Did you edit in the sensor on Carrington's phone number?
Oh yeah.
She just openly just held up his number in front of the camera.
Hey,
Look at my
guys.
phone, guys.
Look at my new phone. This is my brother's phone number. Call him. So yeah.
It's, sold out at day ones. All right, I have to look into this more.
Colin's finding out that he can't get his Xbox One.
I'm sure I can
Slacker.
get it.
Slacker.
I'll swing something.
You're gonna go to Walmart. You're gonna be waiting that long Walmart line.
That'd be
You're gonna be running, pushing people out of the way.
With all the
Trampling
the
people.
sweaty rednecks.
You're gonna be trampling people. Messed up, Colin. So yeah, UMG had a charity event this weekend in Dallas. There were, I want to say, 70 teams that went. Sounds right. There was a lot of teams that went to this event for
Nice.
Call of Duty. Again, a charity event sponsored by Elgato. I think there was it $70,000? I
Was it really?
think so. I want to say it was
That
70K.
doesn't sound right.
If it was, I mean, I could be blowing that out of my ass right now, but I'm not sure.
It's a charity event, right?
Well, the team still traveled. I think they got paid. I think the teams got paid for placings.
I'm looking because that
All right,
sounds absurd.
confirm that for me. But anyway,
October 18th to 20th, the $20,000 prize pool.
20,000.
You're
Okay.
insane
What?
for even believing that that was a thing.
What? Or maybe I thought the 2 was a 7, but I just glanced at it. I don't pay attention to Call of Duty stuff that much. I only watch COD Championships.
Gave me some sticker shock though.
So the event is going fine, perfectly smooth. MLG is running their thing, UMG is running their thing, and then the lights go out at UMG. They and I don't mean the lights go out like literally, like they lose power, but their stream was forced action takedown by Activision, and immediately following it, I started seeing tweets going out, and then next thing I know, Sundance is responding to people that are basically calling out MLG, saying that they were behind the takedown. And you saw players. I got a quote from Moho. He said, "MLG forces a copyright strike on UMG. Very selfish move. UMG will not be streamed anymore." And that was immediate, almost immediate, just knee-jerk reaction from a pro player, obviously Fear Moho, and obviously has a big following, and then that causes this nasty widespread, oh my god, MLG took down UMG, and Sundance was getting all types of malicious tweets, dudes saying that they were like, beat his ass if they saw him, don't let me see you at an event, it's on. And he's going right back with him, like he's going toe to toe with him. He's like, hey, listen, you know, I'm not hiding, I'll be at Anaheim, come see me if you got any issues. I mean, it was just a mess. And the thing I didn't understand about all of it is why. I mean, I get that there's obviously a conflict of interest with MLG trying to get viewership numbers versus UMG.
That's always there, though. That's there for every game,
right?
So why would MLG ever fucking risk trying to pull something like that?
Right.
When DMCA law says that Twitch can go ahead and reveal it publicly. Like, if Twitch wanted to, they could reveal it publicly. Like, that's part of the DMCA law, is that they can post a letter onto a news site of their choice, which I looked at the one they have. It's just like a non-profit website you post up on.
Yeah.
So they can post the letter that you sent, which is really just an automated form because it's all automated, which is how I got taken down in the first place. It didn't go through anyone or approved by anyone. So you can literally, like, you can take that letter, they could post it publicly. They're within their legal rights to do that. And if MLG tried to pull that shit, they would definitely consider it, right?
Right.
If they're taking down one of their big streams, like...
I have no idea. I have no idea why that was a knee-jerk reaction.
Stupid. Like, so that's just an ignorant response to go after MLG.
It is.
With zero details whatsoever.
So Sundance is kind of poking and prodding. Twitch people are messaging him. He tweets, I should say, some Twitch people. And then they confirm that it wasn't MLG that had the takedown, that it was Activision. All right? So even then, I went on to read some of what Moho was saying. He's like, it doesn't matter. I think he was talking to Optic at this point. It doesn't matter if it wasn't MLG or not. We know that they were behind it. They were the they were the reason that Activision took it down because they were losing viewer number, whatever the case may be. And Sonny has some tweets that basically said, if you guys are that upset about it, if they keep it down, listen, I will fork up whatever money that you guys raised from the stream or had at the stream. I will come out of pocket and pay for it. I mean, he's going all out.
So you
like
match it.
Match it, right?
He'll match any charitable donations.
So it's like I mean, I just see no reason for people to attack them off the cuff, just automatically. Oh, it's definitely MLG's fault. At the same time, it was very weird out of all the events that UMG has hosted that this particular one was taken down. I mean, I don't know the reason, but I don't know. I mean, it's just a weird series.
It could just be like one person over there just saw it and was like,
Saw
"Oh
it.
no," and
Right.
panicked and whatever.
Like they saw
Usually it's
MLG
because it
leave.
got reported to somebody and then that person who's in charge just hit the button. Like DMCA doesn't require any kind of proof in any form to get something taken down. Like that's part of the law is that the larger companies can just take shit down
Yeah.
in order to react timely. So there isn't stuff like NFL streams, for example,
Yep.
on the major networks. So and actually, it's funny because there was also an issue with Total Biscuit video this week
I
where
was
his
wondering if you
video
were
got
going to
taken
segue
down.
into that.
Yeah, where his video got taken down because a developer wasn't happy that he had negative things to say about their game, so he got it taken down on YouTube. So I mean,
Yep.
like that's how the law works. They can just take it down. They don't even need a good reason, and it's rare that it gets overturned. And in both these cases, they just reinstated the video in Total Biscuit's case, and the stream was back up for UMG.
Yep. So
It's stupid. Like the law clearly needs work.
definitely needs some work. Definitely, most definitely needs some work. But in the case of Total Biscuit, I mean,
That was way more charges because there was malicious intent.
that was just ridiculous. And that's saying, I mean, you know what? I don't even want to touch on it because it's frustrating for me to think about, developers that are trying to abuse that and control the media buzz that they have about their game. I mean, just exactly what he said. I mean, they're contracted out usually, or they get contacted directly. Say, hey, can you promote this video? Tell us what you think. I mean, just because he didn't like it? I mean, I don't know. That's just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the UMG stuff. Blacko, that happened this weekend. If you missed it, you can go on Sundance's Twitter, Moho's Twitter. You want to kind of look at the drama that unfolded. But yeah, that's all. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Just wanted to touch on it because it was part of the esports weekend. Let's go ahead and go into just transition into Titanfall release date.
So pumped. I'm happy that it's coming soon. That's only 5 months from now. Exactly 5 months from now, actually.
Exactly 5 months from now. Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. Battlefield 4 tricks. That's what I'm talking about. Next week, Battlefield 4. Collins, he's not a believer. Not sold on it yet. I don't think he ever will be. I think he's done with Battlefield. The
I
traitor.
need to see some convincing diffuse gameplay.
Thank you. That's all I'm going to be playing. So,
No, show me some convincing gameplay.
what do you mean? That means you need to hop in
knowing
with
full
it.
well that I've been playing CS:GO for the past week.
You need to hop in and play with me. That's okay. Tricks will play with me. Tents will play with me. We're good. We don't need Skyless. It's just gonna hate on the game. So Titanfall release date announced today, March 11th. There is a collector's edition that was also announced with this for $250, and it includes an 18-inch Titan statue in addition to some other characters that are on the. Hold on, let me see at the images. There we go. There it is. So there's that statue, and that's just the package itself. Yeah,
so expensive.
190 page art book, and then they have a poster. There was a picture of Vince Zampala's Twitter, who posted a prototype of the Titan. The statue looks pretty badass, but I mean, it's a game that a lot of people are excited for, and I think that a lot of people are interested in the game. Now, I don't know if the pre-order is going to like that statue is they said it's limited supply. It's like $100 you have to fork over up front. So I already saw some people on Twitter saying that they were going to get it. I'm really interested in purchasing it. Here's my issue. My one issue is that
it's $250.
No, it's not even that it's $250. I could not buy games in February, and I mean, what else is going to be coming out? Destiny?
You spend $250 on games a month?
No, I might buy. My
like
budget
100.
right now is about 100. Yeah, it's about 100 a month for games. Most of the time, I don't even hit that budget. So that's what my budget is for games. That's like 2 games, guys. Not even 2 games. So that's a couple months of saving for the game. What other game you gonna buy?
You can get 4 other games for that price.
What 4 other games you gonna buy from January up until March? You name a couple of that, and then I'll think about buying them.
Think about all the hats and Dota you could get.
Colin, name me 4 other games. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm only playing Titanfall.
Okay, thank you.
So.
Thank you. Stop
But
playing.
I can just pay $60 for it.
Stop playing the devil's advocate here. There are no other games except for Destiny coming out in that time frame. That's all I gotta do is save up.
We don't have a release for Destiny, do we?
No, it's spring 2014.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're talking 2 heavy hitters.
It will probably be within a month or so. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 heavy hitters coming out around that time period. So I see no reason not to get my very first collector's edition item. I'm hype about this game. Let me be hype.
Okay. I will grant you the right to be hype. You have a license to hype.
Thank you. Now here's the issue with this. I know Christy is going to be upset that I spent $250 on a game. That's my first issue. She's going to be pissed off. All right, so I'm going to have to explain this to her a couple different times. Like, hey, listen, I'm not buying any other games for this particular month, this time period, and I'm spending it on this one game that I want for this time period. And I'm going to get a statue. I've already determined that she will not let me keep the statue anywhere in the house. So I have to take that to work, and I'm going to put the statue on my desk at work. So I've already solved that issue. Now the posters, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with those.
You could also hang them up at work.
I could have hung them up at work. I could, because I have some pretty nice cubicle space I could put that on. I would work. But I just have to do some convincing. My salesman pitch is going to come into effect. Like, listen, this is why we need this right now.
Except you get a really nice frame for it for above the bed.
The other issue is that I am trying to get this on both PC and Xbox One. So we're looking at potentially, if I have to pay twice, I'm going to talk to someone there. Like, if I buy this on PC, I want to be able to play on Xbox One. I don't want to have to buy it twice.
Buy it on 360, then go to Xbox One.
For $9 more?
Yeah.
Call of Duty. So, yeah, I mean, we're talking $300 at this point. I don't want to pay $300 for the game. I'm not going to pay for 360, but I do want it on Xbox One and PC. So I'm having a dilemma right now, guys. I could either get PC, Xbox, no collector's edition, and pay $120. That's my normal budget, about. Or I could go collector's edition. That's all I'm getting, and then I have to pick one, and I want to go PC.
You gotta get on Xbox.
Why?
Everyone's gonna be playing on there.
A lot of people are going to be playing on Xbox, but you know that the PC players are going to figure out stuff faster than the Xbox.
Maybe.
That's traditionally how it is, Colin.
I'd argue that the community has more players find stuff out faster, inherently.
Maybe.
Because there's more people. It's like the monkeys on the typewriter thing.
Maybe.
Xbox has a lot of monkeys being away on typewriters.
Do you think that it will...
Is what I'm getting at.
Here's a good question. Do you think that the Xbox will reach a critical mass by that time?
That's a good question. I don't know.
We're looking at... I want to say... I don't even want to throw out a number. There's a significant number of Xbox 360 units that make it so that certain games have an install base automatically, and I don't think it'll reach that point.
Apparently, there's not a lot of Xbox Ones at launch, because I'm still struggling to find it. I'm looking.
So, yeah. The other kind of thing that cropped up, and
maybe you guys wants to sell your pre-order to me. Let me know, by the way. Yeah.
No, the first thing you guys need to... Okay, in the chat, our first priority, guys, is to raise a fund to get this guy off of his iPhone camera and Cracker
That's the
Box.
problem. Like, that's why I can't pre-order. I have
No,
other expenses
no.
to make first.
Listen, guys, we've already determined that we're trying to get the fund together for your webcam. All right, so that's our first priority for you right now. Donations are I'll even make a donation page on Reflection so we can get it going. If it needs to come to that.
It's all in the workings. All
We've
in the
been talking
workings.
about this for like 3 months.
I know. And then I had to buy a car, which drastically fucked shit up.
So the other thing that kind of cropped up a little bit, and I kind of am interested what the chat has to say about this, and you, Colin, but Slasher talked about, and this was mentioned a couple times actually in different media outlets, the idea of Titanfall having cross-platform play. Is that a reality? And would most likely be between Xbox One and the PC. But what do you kind of think about the capabilities? Would you want it? First, would you want it? Second, is it something that it's worth time to invest in at this point in time?
Wouldn't care either way, I don't think. I don't think it matters, is what I'm getting at. As far as if it's possible, sure. Considering that they're using dedicated servers for everything now. It's possible. I doubt that it's a focus for anyone right now.
Chrome doesn't really matter. Endzone will Xbox.
Keyboard and mouse.
You know that's not happening.
Doubtful. Actually, I don't know. I mean, like, you play in a keyboard now to your Xbox. It's mouse traditionally they haven't supported.
Right, and that's not. They're not going to unless
Without
you have
mods.
that. Without that
XBIM.
Because keyboards are cheating. Now, let's say, Matt, this might be a topic for another day because I'm just going to interject this because we have cross-platform play that kind of cropped up. If Microsoft offered a mouse and keyboard as a peripheral to buy specifically for the Xbox One, is it still considered cheating?
Say what?
If, because I'm looking at the real Matthew, says keyboards are cheating. If Microsoft offers,
I believe he's being sarcastic.
this is he probably was, but is this? I mean, that's a legitimate question. Is mouse and keyboard cheating if the providers or the creators of the console say, "Hey, here you go, use it if you want it"?
No, I don't think so. But I think that they should identify what controller you're using in game. This would be the same thing as like host advantage, where you're like, "Oh, that guy just has a mouse and keyboard," even if you don't actually know it. No, I wouldn't care.
Okay. So cross-platform play, pretty much everyone is like they don't really care. Slasher seems like that would be ideal for him. Finally have it. The only game that I really remember.
Slasher is also a PC elitist.
Exactly.
Would immediately be like, yeah, they should add it so the mouse and keyboard players can just dominate the controller players for once and for all. And then everyone will switch over to PC.
But the only game I can really remember that had it was Shadowrun. And I think that based off of the data that they collected, that it was pretty clear that mouse and keyboard dominated, shitted all over, in fact, the console play.
In what game?
Shadowrun.
No. I swear we talked about this before.
What?
According to the developers, it was about even. Like, there wasn't a tangible advantage, but they changed gameplay mechanics to make it happen. Like, they made it so there was a capped turn rate. I'm telling you, I looked into this at some point. I can't remember why.
But here's the thing.
So here's the thing. Like,
I remember you talking about it.
Some guy from AMD or whatever was running his mouth about it and said that, but it wasn't. He didn't work on the game. He just said it, and then later on, some Shadowrun developers refuted it.
Okay, so here's where the contradiction is. If you look on media outlets, let's AMD do decide. They consistently say that the PC players outperformed the Xbox One players by a significant margin.
360, yeah. I know. They're all quoting that one guy. If you look at the articles, they're all quoting the one guy.
Okay. All right. Uh,
And again, like they built the game around the fact they were using both. So they capped turn rates. They did a bunch of other stuff that made it so it wasn't a direct advantage.
Needless to say, guys, if Titanfall has it, I'll probably already be on PC, probably with my huge statue.
Also, they probably would have announced it by now.
You think?
Yeah.
They still got things to save. I know you were hoping for a beta.
Yeah. It sounded like almost everyone was like, big news tomorrow. It's going to be a beta. Like, that was the thing that every news outlet jumped on. So I was like, okay, I guess there's a beta coming.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope there's a beta, but I I won't be like upset if there's not. Because Destiny's gonna have one. Probably be spending a lot of time on that. All right, next up we got Matchmaker. Should I call it the League? I'm gonna say Matchmaker. Improving matchmaking. League of Legends.
Pretty cool. It's one of those things that people have been asking for a while for League.
All right, so was announced. I'll go ahead and copy this into the chat. There's a better link, but I didn't put that link in chat. Directly to the
Should show the picture. Yeah, that's the good picture. I don't know why they have the other one at the top.
Anyway, they had a article on their site or information on their site that League is going to be improving their matchmaker, and a release date that they have, or a patch or update that they haven't announced yet, where they're going to basically refine their existing algorithm, and in addition to that, select roles so that when you are matchmaking, it builds out your team so that the roles kind of all intertwine to make your team better. And the direct quote is Team Builder is intended to bring players together that complement each other's expectations and intentions from the moment they enter the lobby. When everyone's aligned on who will be going where and playing what, the only thing left to do to figure out is how to dominate the opposition. So, there's a couple of things to kind of take away from this. And before the show started, I kind of asked Colin how he felt about it. And obviously, I think that you kind of like it. But I asked him if this is something that could be implemented into other genres, specifically shooters, because I feel like that genre could use the most work when it comes to skill-based matchmaking. So I don't know what all games would fit the idea of roles, but there's a couple of different things that I think could be implemented to support this idea. Obviously, skill-based matchmaking has always been a hot topic for Colin, so I'm gonna just kind of let you kind of go and let you say what you feel about this, because I think it's pretty good, but I want to elaborate a little bit more on the idea of adding roles.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because League of Legends has really fixed roles. Like every single game you play, it's going to be a AD carry, support for that AD carry. Someone's going to play mid, someone's going to be in the jungle, someone's going to be on top lane by themselves. So like every single game is like that. So there are very definitive roles when you queue. So a lot of times people will be support players. Like almost every game they play will be support.
Right.
Almost every game they play will be AD. Almost every game they play will be mid, and they're trying to get better at that position regularly. So it really makes sense for them because, again, it has that very rigid structure. When you asked me if it would apply to other games, specifically shooter, I can't even think of a genre that does teams even besides MOBAs and shooters. I just thought about that for a second. Like RTS games, but not really.
I was gonna say RTS, yeah.
Not really though.
Sports games.
Not really. So could it apply to shooters? Was really the question. And I don't think you have those fixed roles. Like I always disliked when people talked about Halo or even Gears, and it was like, yeah, they have a great Slayer and a good support guy. Like there was kind of that notion that people played roles in Halo, but really they were just kind of classifications of,
Playstyle.
I guess,
I,
playstyle. It's much looser than something like League, in the
right.
sense that someone who's support is still doing the same thing. They're still moving around the map and shooting at people, right?
Right.
Like you might change where that person goes. You might put your Slayer into the spot of the map that gets the most kills, but they're all still doing the same thing. They're all functioning the exact same. And if you take that same person, you put them somewhere else in the map, they're still gonna be shooting people, right? So I guess that's what I'm saying. When I don't think that roles necessarily fits, with the exception being that in Gears of War, for example, it's round based, so you're always going to the same position almost every single round, right? The
Right.
map will change, but for example, on Pavilion, I was always running into the hut. Like that was where I played, was at the hut. Every single person had a spot. The positions weren't as strict because you could run different strategies. And the same kind of thing for opening rushes on Halo, etc. Like there's other things you can do, but there are spots where you run to. So possibly you could do it that way, but it's not nearly as rigid as what League has. What makes more
So
sense for shooters is something like flagging your the type of matches you're looking for, right? So it's
right.
like I'm a competitive guy, I want to get into a competitive match.
Right.
Like that makes sense to me more so than position-based roles for that kind of stuff.
So yeah, I'm trying to think about because I think you're kind of onto something with position. There's a couple ideas that came to mind. First off, the classification of position based roles, so to speak, for shooters. So on when your example was Pavilion on Gears 2, I think I played top. I played top side with Callie because we tried to get the sniper. And then you and my brother would play down low. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you think about the map in terms of sections, or just based off of the diagrams that they have for the map, maybe you could select. Oh, okay. Well, this guy played good at this particular area, so you could section it off based off of, hey, well, okay, well, this guy was a good mid player. This guy was a good sniper lane player. This guy was a good power weapon specific player, and that might be a good way to start classification of a play style or play pattern for players to kind of recognize. Now, the difference here being that each map is different, so that if you like a specific map, or like if you like a different position in a different map, like you might be a really good boom player, but
Right.
on your map, for example, you have to run and grab the torque bow. So like, and another map, like
Uh,
let's say
heat map.
Jacinto, for example. Yeah, so
Do it
like
on heat
Jacinto,
maps.
yeah. So like for Jacinto, for example, um, you might have to play down low because you're a boom player, but that also has a torque bow up top. So it's like, well, I'm supposed to be the good boom player. Should I play down low? Should I play up top? How does that kind of mix it up? I think that's kind of interesting way to think about it, in terms of power weapon roles or just lane roles specifically,
Yeah, and then you have
for
games like
shooters.
Ghost Recon where you sit behind the same rock every single round. You just have this giant red
Just
heat hot spot, and it's like, oh, this guy must play that rock. So we just need someone to play this rock, and then we'll have a full Ghost Recon team.
Now there are a couple games though, Colin, that I think that roles can work.
I
TF2,
already know where you're going. Is like Unreal or yeah,
TF2,
objective stuff.
Battlefield. Even you're a good support
Yeah,
player. You're a good engineer. You're
that's
a
true.
good, that also works.
More specifically, you're the tank guy or the jet guy or the heli
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
So there are games where I think that this role building, team builder aspect of skill based matchmaking for shooters can work. Um, I don't know if it's as clear cut and dry, but certain games definitely have a lean, more in towards that style of matchmaking, in addition to building on whatever algorithm that they're using
You could.
to match them together.
Do you think any shooters gonna be doing that anytime soon? Because I don't think so.
If there's, I think the first that would try it, considering who they brought in, Halo
Yeah.
343, they might try to change around their matchmaker.
I still insist that they don't have roles.
I Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they plan on doing that, but what is that guy's name? Josh Mink?
Yeah, Menk. I
Okay,
don't know if it's Menk or Menky. Yeah.
Minky. So yeah, that was the um, head of design for the matchmaker for StarCraft, matchmaking for StarCraft.
He was
Who's
the lead designer on the
who
system.
is right? Who's now over at 343, which is where I think that you probably see a significant um, improvement in Halo's matchmaker for their next title, because that's the dude that built StarCraft, and a lot of games now model their matchmaking after StarCraft. So I wouldn't be surprised if Halo's matchmaking blows everything out of the water for the next Halo title. Other game that could possibly do it is Call of Duty, although I don't think the roles there fit. They do have those things like, what do they call them, anchor players that
I mean,
they've kind of
they just said this month that they don't view their players as hardcore, casual, or
hardcore,
even
right?
gamers. So I wouldn't expect that kind of a feature from COD.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the only other studio that might do it. And on top of that, I don't think Infinity Ward would be the one to implement it, and I don't think was Sledgehammer supposed to be the other guys that are working on it now. They got a three game rotation, and then Treyarch is the other one. The only of those three, the only one that would actually try to do something with that is Treyarch.
I'd say the only
So
one that makes sense, the only game you brought up that makes sense really to me is Battlefield.
Battlefield.
And I can actually see them maybe doing something like that, but their UI is already a fucking mess in terms of detail. Like, there's so much stuff in there.
On top of that, they don't really have a matchmaking system. It's all
Server browser stuff.
server
Yeah.
browser stuff. So
How would you matchmake a 60-man server like that?
yeah, I have no idea how they would try to do that. So
I mean, I just don't see it happening.
maybe for
Really,
diffuse,
the next step to me is just strictly to get
diffuse,
skill-based matchmaking in.
Colin, diffuse
I guess.
that bomb.
I mean, if you could go back to the same thing where it's like, I'm a B player, I'm an A player. Like,
So yeah, I mean, obviously matchmaking is one of those things that a lot of us have a lot of different opinions on. So I've kind of been looking at the chat to see what you guys have been saying about it.
yeah. I mean, the more important thing for me is that console shooters start focusing more on the skill end of things versus the matchmaking time. Like, that's really all that needs to happen in the short term. Um, and that's something that League has as a huge advantage, is that they have a monstrous player base where you can get matches at all skill levels and with crazy restrictions like, I want to play a specific role.
All right, so
That should improve match quality quite a bit, though, because usually people are frustrated when they don't get to play what they want, and then they rage.
you got Virgin Gaming. I'm gonna start with miscellaneous, because that's basically what all this is. Miscellaneous news, gaming news. Wrap up the show.
Just gonna roll through this.
Yeah, well, let's just roll through this. All right, go ahead, Colin.
So I didn't read anything about this. Machinima is launching an app on Xbox One.
Yep. Oh, that's
I really
oh, I thought you were gonna do Virgin
Oh,
Gaming.
you want me to do Virgin Gaming? Okay.
Yeah.
So Virgin Gaming is, as of today, they announced a premium subscription model. So what they used to do is you'd play. For those who don't know, Virgin Gaming is a tournament website similar to Game Battles, but the difference is that you pretty much just do money matches with people, and their target audience, well, their only real player base is all sports game players. So it's guys on Madden, NBA, 2000, whatever,
Right.
2K, whatever. I don't even know what they're playing, NHL, etc.
FIFA.
FIFA, yeah, FIFA's another big one. So it's just money matches. So it's like, hey, Kale and I play a match. We each put up $10. The winner gets 16 or 17 something, and then Virgin Gaming takes the extra change, which is 12%. So that's their current business model. They're moving away from that now, and instead, Kale and I would each pay $5 a month or $50 a year, I think is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then users can create leagues. So like, I can create a league with just people that watch Frag Logic and Kale, and everyone has to have a Virgin subscription. So everyone has to pay the $5 a month. And then our league can have a buy-in as well. So we can do a league buy-in of $100. So every single person ponies up $100, and then at the end of the league or whatever, the winner gets paid out, and Virgin Gaming doesn't take anything. As far as I can tell, they don't take anything from it. So it's similar to running a money league in fantasy football, essentially. The caveat right now is that the league structure is pretty much just a game battles ladder, from what I can tell. Like, you just challenge other people,
Right.
and go through the ladder like that. That's pretty much it. Then they said there'd be like leaderboard tournaments that you can enter for free with a subscription, which is similar to what they're doing now. They've been just giving money away essentially for the past 2 years.
And don't forget, they also want to target mobile.
Yeah,
The white whales.
the article says that moving forward, they want to get stuff going on mobile with more leaderboard tournaments on mobile, which is kind of touchy to work around because that stuff doesn't fly with Apple in any way because they're not making any money off of it. And then the weird quote was that they said, if all goes well, they're hoping to have an SDK to give to developers by around this time next year, so the developers could just plug in essentially the hooks to the Virgin Gaming matchmaking system and have matches be reported into the Virgin Gaming website automatically. Their big thing has always been automated reporting. So all those sports games, when you play a match, it just automatically updates the site, so there's no cheating or reports or anything like that. The thing that struck me as weird is that they've had this stuff set up for EA for a while now, and I was surprised they didn't even have an XDK or a SDK. Because Twitch is a good example of a company that has an SDK and are actively shopping it around. And now in the past year, you've seen maybe like 8 or 9 games at least, which have launched with Twitch streaming embedded in the game client. So that's essentially what they're trying to do, but they won't have it till around this time next year, if all goes well with the subscription model, which leads me to believe that Virgin Gaming is struggling.
Could be. I don't know.
That's my impression. But like, they've always just been a money sink, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that they've been profitable.
And I'm not going to even talk about the subscription model other than saying that MLG did something similar, and I don't.
It wasn't mandatory though.
Right. It wasn't mandatory, and I didn't like the way that it ended up fleshing out. But the very first comment, or no, it was 3 comments into that article, is a comment from someone that said, Virgin Gaming, aren't those the guys that did the Battlefield $1.9 million tournament and never happened? I don't trust them. That was like the third comment in, so it's like,
I like that I'm not the only one that's still salty about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that it seems like they're salty about Virgin Gaming in general and how they've done tournaments. And that's just for the shooters, from what I've seen. So I definitely want to see and hear more about them, because they're really the only, I don't even want to call them competition. They're really the only people that are doing something that's not in the same structure, I guess, as MLG for competitive guys.
Are there any other big league sites anymore? Like online leagues? Have they all gone the way? Might be time for resurgence.
Maybe.
Considering that we're getting dedicated servers now.
Dedicated servers, new consoles.
That's always been the biggest hurdle. We talked about it a bit before.
Yeah.
Back in episode 20 something. But yeah, just go back and watch them all, and you'll find us talking about it. But yeah, like we talked about before, the next gen is going to be really convenient for online play, with everyone having the ability to record inherently in their console, and then of course the ability to stream.
Yep. So
as well as daddies.
No excuses. Like, you can't get away with cheating now. Why are you going to be cheating on the Xbox One? I'm talking to you, you little 14-year-old kid. Why are you trying to cheat?
DDoS people.
You little 13-year-old little boy. Why are you trying to cheat? You can't cheat no more. Just don't dispute. We got the evidence. Don't even try to dispute. You just lost. Just suck it in. Report the L. Disband your team. Make a new team and try again. We know the pattern now. We're OGs. We know. That's the message to all the little 13, 14-year-old boys that be trying to cheat. No, you're out there. Okay. So,
I think that Another league needs to step up.
That would be nice.
Virgin Gaming isn't really a league,
No, they're not. I don't know what they are.
and I wouldn't pay them $5 a month to be a league service. That's kind of weird. I used to pay back when I first started gaming. First started gaming with anything really. I was like 12 years old, and I played Yahoo Pool. I think I've told you about this before. But we used to use a site called Cases Ladders, is what the name of the site was. And essentially, they were like a service that lets you create your own ladders on the site, and then you like would pay stuff for like paid tournaments and that kind of thing. So essentially, it was a similar model, except it was completely free to set everything up. And then if you wanted special features for your ladder, then you would pay extra. So like it might be, hey, I want to be able to run Swiss tournaments. So you would pay them money in order to be able to run the Swiss tournaments on your ladder. So like that kind of service seems more appealing than having to have everyone opt in with a subscription fee. Like I'm not gonna be able to get a 32-person league with people paying $5.
We do need to figure out though for Xbox One, because you know we want to do tournaments and we want to do some stuff where we cast. We talked about it for Gears, but we got to figure out who we're gonna use. Beyond Gaming does some
stuff.
Here's
the thing, like they're not doing anything that you can't do with an Excel spreadsheet.
You just want to use Excel spreadsheets, post it online.
Like they're not doing anything you couldn't do in Google spreadsheets, even.
A la Zach Johnson.
I can just link the Google spreadsheet. Like that's all that you would need. Like they're charging $5 for a service that is essentially a spreadsheet displayed on a website.
I'm not opposed to that. Just organize it.
Just saying.
Yeah, Sean says I love spreadsheets. He does too. All right, so other stuff that we have. Machinima launches an app on the Xbox One. The cool thing I took away from this is that I can't remember the name of this show that it's going to be called, but with that app, they're trying to do something that's going to help out gamers, basically providing tips and stuff on different games. So I thought that was pretty cool. It will be a day one app that you guys can download. So that's cool. DICE is fixing beta issues. Did you guys see how many? Did you see how many articles popped? I'm telling you, Colin, it's because of us. It's because of the show. How many articles popped up talking about DICE fixing the beta issues? Like they wanted to make sure that they let people know. And here's a one from IGN. They wanted to make sure that they let people know, hey guys, we're actually going to fix this. These issues are going to be addressed. Now they didn't say the time frame, but they were like, hey, these issues have been worked. This beta was great for us, and we're working on all the bugs and issues that we found. It's been awesome, and expect some changes. I don't remember seeing that for Battlefield 3. I don't remember seeing shit about that. I remember seeing the game being broken during beta and the game being broken the first month that the game came out. So I thought that was very interesting that we got all this PR buzz around them fixing stuff for the beta.
How many of these do you think were fixed a month ago before the beta came out? Because their beta build was cut probably 2 months ago.
How many issues that the people ran into?
No, how many do you think were already fixed before the beta came out?
Oh, probably quite a few.
Because their QA team had reported them and they just started doing fixing.
Yeah, more than likely, yeah.
So really, this is like a list of things that they were gonna fix anyways.
And then
there's some tuning and stuff on there too.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that was
it's mostly tuning.
Yeah, the optimization was the big thing that I think they took away from that. And like, oh, this is pretty fucked up right now. So I am very anxious to see how the game launches day one. I'll say first 2 weeks. I won't say day one. First 2 weeks, how the game plays.
Yeah, like I said, I'll be watching for some diffuse gameplay in order to see if I'm gonna get it or not. I'll probably get it on an Xbox though if I get it. Anything.
Is that a PC?
Yeah, I just don't want to deal with the issues, performance issues.
Yeah, but that means you wouldn't get it until Xbox One unless you're gonna get the 360 version.
360, and then if I want to upgrade, it's $9.99.
$9.99.
Yeah.
Colin, you can't listen. You can't play the 360 version. You just can't.
I did.
Did you see what it looks like?
Yeah, it looks awful.
How could you put yourself?
Doesn't matter though. I played. Do you want to see the graphics I played Quake with? You've seen.
Darkstorm, my PC is pretty beast. I mean, I'm thinking about getting a new graphics card. Great segue. Not because of Battlefield, but because Nvidia just announced all this shit that's coming with their
Yeah.
600 series or above, and I have a 560 Ti. So,
Like, there's my
uh,
Quake settings right there. Low LOD all day. That's basically Battlefield on Xbox.
Colin, you can't play Battlefield with that bullshit. You just can't.
The low LOD
Colin, you just can't.
makes it
Bullshit.
easier to see people.
So yeah, Nvidia has a couple different things. I'm gonna let you talk about the Gsync, Colin, but I'm gonna hit the stream and capture capabilities are coming to coming to their graphics cards for computers. Now, I did a review on Avery Media talking about capture cards, the possibility of capture cards going away, and
I'm not
there's
even trolling. Sorry. I'm not even trolling. That's why I play Quake.
he really does, guys. He
Those are
really
my
does.
settings. Those are most pro settings for Quake. Carry on.
But the capture cards, there's a couple things. First off, you can capture through a lot of, through like Fraps or OBS or different XSplit. I mean, you can use those as well. So it's not like Nvidia is changing anything here, but it is cool that they are at least thinking about the ability to both capture and upload to YouTube and to stream your gameplay to Twitch through this new interface. So I think the update for this comes out on like the 28th or something like that for Nvidia. The link to it, this one is from Kotaku. I didn't mean to. There we go. Boom. There's the link.
That's Battlefield link.
Is it?
Try again.
Okay. Try a copy again. Boom. Kotaku. There we go. So there's the Kotaku article talking about it. The name of the program is called Shadowplay, that you can, I guess, enable on your PC. They showed a video explanation of it, but it captures, let me see, it stores the last 20 minutes of your gameplay that you could then enable to be saved, or you can just endlessly, you can set a different option and then just endlessly capture your gameplay. And you'll see like a little icon popping up over your game in the left hand corner. It's like two white arrows refreshing that shows when the thing is active. So that's some pretty cool news coming from Nvidia. Now, the reason that this is appealing is because if you have those cards and you're using, say, Fraps or OBS or XSplit or whatever to capture your gameplay, you're usually taking a performance hit. Now, if you use the Shadowplay, it's supposed to significantly cut down on the performance hit that you take when capturing your gameplay. They said something like 10 to 5 frames are negated when using this. So sounds like a good deal to me.
Nice. For the guys that don't already have capture cards.
Now, the other thing that Colin, both of us are pretty hyped about this.
I think this is much cooler.
This is probably much cooler because it has a lot of impact, not only for PC but also on console.
I'm gonna link this article in chat, and for the people that don't have access to the chat, you're watching on YouTube, look up, Google like Extreme Tech is the name of the site, and the article Nvidia Gsync, and that'll probably come up correctly. So Gsync is a new, I'm gonna use the right word. So it's a chip that goes into monitors.
Correct.
And it's a new technology that fixes the issue of fixed frame rate essentially through VSync. I don't want to get technical because, quite frankly, the article goes into that stuff way better than I ever could in terms of explaining it.
The refresh rate for monitors is set in increments of 60. So
right. So like
60 hertz.
Most of you
hertz.
probably have a 60 hertz monitor. Like that's
right.
The standard is a 60 hertz monitor. With the new Gsync, instead of the monitor syncing to the graphics card will sync up with the monitor. So the way it'll work is if you have a supported graphics card, which coincidentally is NVIDIA graphics cards, which are based on the Kepler technology, then you'll be able to play, and the issue of screen tearing will be completely gone because everything will be synced up, and everything will be playing way smoother than before. There'll be less delay. They said, as a reference, they said promises such smooth gameplay that internal testers have found themselves overshooting and missing targets because of the input and display lag that they have subconsciously accounted for during their many years of gaming. By only drawing frames when they're ready, the display allows for variable frame rates and smooth playback at the same time. So console games are usually locked at 30 or 60 frames, which means that they're going to be running at 30 or 60 the entire time, right? And then if you have an issue where it dips down, then you'll get
screen tear,
all sorts of issues, screen tear, whatever. Like really, there's a whole domino effect when it goes below. PC games generally haven't had that as a base setting. They've had variable frame rates, which go all over the place. As a result, the option for VSync will cap it. So you'll have 60, 30, 20, 10 would be like the VSync settings, which would cap it artificially at 30 and artificially at 60 as long as you are able to stay above that number. So essentially the card makes all that not matter anymore. And the feedback from people has been extremely positive. And I'm kind of excited because monitors are generally moving away from the gaming side of things, right? Like, there's a few brands that'll cater specifically to gamers. For the most part, it's just like you make a monitor.
Right.
And sometimes it has a game mode, but really it's like the actual input lag is not that good. And I've seen firsthand the difference that playing on a bad monitor can make to someone's gameplay when Kale absolutely sucked at Gears for a good 6-month stretch.
Listen, guys. First off, I never sucked at Gears. First off, he's just talking about me playing on a monitor where my performance was a tad bit better when I switched monitors.
It was absolutely hindered. And when he switched, he was getting like 9 kills a map every single time before it slowly averaged out again. Just saying. It took you a good month to reset yourself.
So basically, guys, if you want, this is what I was doing. I was training. If you want very good training, play on a shitty monitor. And then when you go to the good monitors...
And then I think we looked up that monitor had like 12 ms input lag. And then the one which I switched you onto had like 4.
It was pretty bad.
So you gained an extra 8 milliseconds.
It's pretty bad.
So yeah, like it's a big deal is what I'm getting at. And this technology could help solve that issue permanently. I don't know. The thing that's my big question mark is there's nothing about consoles on here. I'm not sure how it impacts console play.
What about price?
Price is the big thing, and I don't know how much it'll be more expensive. It's essentially the same monitor just with the chip, right?
I just don't want to be paying 4K TV prices for no damn monitors.
They said the resolutions would go from 1920 by 1080 all the way up to 4K. So you wouldn't have to get a 4K.
Okay. All right. So the last thing I have on here is iConsole TV declares Steam OS support. I do have the article to that. This is from Engadget. I will link that if you guys are interested in checking it out. What I was going to basically talk about with this was just kind of something that we briefly touched on when we talked about Steam OS, and it was actually when they announced it, and I said something like, I wonder who's going to support it first. Remember, I was saying, like, I wonder what guys are going to be like, yeah, this is the thing we're going to support. So iConsole TV, never even heard of them before, or saying that they're going to be supporting Steam OS. And I think they kind of wanted to declare the support first so they could get some buzz. But they also have Android, which I thought was really cool. So apparently that flips between both OSs, and you'll be able to play your Steam OS library and your Android games all in this little console. So I thought that was pretty damn sweet. And that's pretty much all I got. That's all I got for today. So now we can go into some questions real quick, if there are any in the chat. We'll wrap up the show for tonight.
Seriously though, if anyone knows where I can get an Xbox One pre-order now, let me know.
Colin, what's wrong, buddy?
I'm just looking. I mean, like, if it comes to me scrambling to get something on the 22nd, I'm fine with that.
You mean you're gonna sit outside of Walmart? Are you gonna trample people? Are you gonna push people through the doors and stampede on them?
I could. It's definitely a possibility. We also have the Microsoft store over here. That might be the hookup.
Yeah, we do have the domain.
Yeah, I might have to give them a call. See
Look
what
at
I
you,
can swing.
look at you scrambling, Colin. You're not a true gamer. We've already established this because you've only played like 2 single player games in your life.
That's not true. I think we counted at least 4 last time.
Do you guys remember that episode? How hard it was for him to
Four
come
and a
up
half if we count whatever I added. I know it was really close.
You had such a hard time naming single player games that you played. That is so terrible.
That weren't from like my childhood. Yes.
Okay, so do you guys think that it will be fair to still sell PS3 and Xbox 360 games for $60 after Xbox One and PS4 comes out? Yes, I do think it's fair. We probably see less of it, probably start to fade away, but it'll be fair for a while because, as we mentioned earlier, the install base for Xbox One isn't going to be anywhere near the install base for the Xbox 360. So at least for the next 1 to 2 years, maybe even 3 years, you're going to see developers still putting out games for the 360 PS3 because they're going to make money.
Yep.
So I don't really have a problem with them still being $60, knowing that not everyone is going to be a early adopter.
Sounds accurate.
Since Spirit Breaker charged through a store. Oh, Bronco, you are not a true gamer. Can you at least name some single player games that you've played? If you can at least name more than 4, you are a gamer. You are a true gamer.
Oh, so I'm a gamer then.
A true gamer.
4 is the limit. I'm good then.
Okay, whatever the number is that Colin had.
Whatever is 1 higher than the amount that Colin's played.
Yeah, if you're counting that half.
Console. Come on. Sorry. Expected ship date 12/31. That's unacceptable.
Arctic Skyless, what launch titles are you buying for Xbox One? That's
honestly my issue.
Arkansas.
I'm not interested in any of the launch titles, anyways. Like Dead Rising, maybe.
I got a couple that I'm getting. That's all you get in Dead Rising?
Battlefield.
Maximus.
I'm not getting Rise.
Are you not entertained?
No, I
Are
wasn't
you
entertained.
not
by
entertained?
wasn't entertained by the quick time notes.
I'm getting Rise. I'm getting Rise, Battlefield 4, Ghosts, maybe Dead Rising. That's it. So I think I got 4 right now. And I'm probably gonna get another controller because I got to play it safe. And I'm gonna look at some other peripherals, but I don't really know all of this. I got to look at the launch titles again. Project Spark is free, so that's another game I'll be playing. Is that a launch title, Colin?
Not a launch title.
Okay, then not even worried about it.
They'll have a beta on the PC before then, so I'll be playing on that.
Okay. Did you send me the link to that?
What?
The beta? Is there a sign up?
Sign up? It's been a web page, it's like a splash page for ages now. You can sign up. It's just literally just entering your email.
So send me the link.
Google it.
That's messed up. You're writing? You could just boop, boop, boop.
It's like projectspark.com or something like that.
Oh, it's on their website?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was like
It's literally their only part of their website currently.
Okay. Will you get the PS4? All right, wait. That's a 2-part question. Arctic, are you going to get Watch Dogs? I was thinking about it, but now they delayed it, and it's going to be around the time that other stuff is coming out. I'm probably not going to get Watch Dogs. If it's Titanfall in that time frame, no, not getting it. And will you get the PS4? Yes, eventually. Don't know when, though. Only launch title, Dead Rising 3.
I think that was the only one that Interest me. Hold on. Making sure, but I
Oh
believe
yeah,
that
yeah,
was the
yeah.
only one.
I forgot. Drew, Killer Instinct. That's the other game. That's probably the game that I'm most excited for.
Really?
For launch title, yeah. What? I mean, Battlefield 4. If you want to, I mean, that's not. That's given. Forgot all about Killer Instinct. Yeah, I plan on getting that.
Peggle 2? Hmm?
Yes, Plot Even. I do plan on getting Ghost because I have to make the caveman